Hello everyone, Alzion the Great here. Welcome back to League of Legends Manager on MOBA GM. In the last episode, we did do pretty well, like 16-6, once again being the second seed in playoffs, where we did take down the 207 Shock. Unfortunately though, we could not overcome Crimson Moon Esports in the finals. For our second finals loss in 3 years, as 2 years earlier we lost to Paladin. Expectations for Crimson Moon this season, I think, are a little bit lower, but we'll see. I mean, they do have all the pieces of their roster that won the title, so I guess, you know, they could be still the same. But expectations for us are still the same. Obviously, with the departure of Posh now to Excalibur, who will be their starting support. The team has suffered a change, but we brought in Falsoy, a rookie support, and he will be, starting at least to start the season. Now, Arkin will get his chance to play if Falsoy does bad. I feel like every time I've said this, we either end up swapping him out. I think with Relevus Q, I think we swapped him in too late, and then everyone else, we never swapped him in because we never really needed to. So we'll see how much playing time Arkin gets. His contract does not expire this season, but if he doesn't play at all, I'm going to go ahead and let him go, because I don't think he would want to stay. But yeah, here are the power rankings. I guess I just really like the show. I'm not entirely sure, though, why I would feel the need. Paladin obviously sits number 2 with Scan and Red Koi. They also have Juso, who will be making his debut. And it's going to be fun to see Paladin. And actually, one thing I did figure out is that every team made a change at their starting roster. Like Paladin, Juso, Quantum, new top jungle. Like every team in some capacity has changed by signing a player in free agency, whether it be, a rookie or a veteran, and that's not even counting promotions. So most teams are going to look different. I'd say we have the most consistent, or the most, I guess, synergy it would be in the league. But yeah, hopefully that can be an advantage for us. Plux is now 22, definitely not a youngin' anymore. Definitely not the future of the league at top lane, because he is the league in top lane right now. And then Tarun is still 19, still best player on the team. Well, now he's the best player on the team, he wasn't last year. But let's see how this schedule looks. Oh, would you look at that? We face Posh now to start the season, and Paladin. Alright, this is going to be incredibly fun, I think. At least to start the season, just to see where we go. Let's go ahead and already sim through. Let's sim through this first matchup with Crimson Moon, defending champs, and see where we end up. So after the first 5 games of the season, SIG does sit at 4-1. Falsoy only a 5.4 KDA, but I'm not sure I would sub him out right now. Let's go ahead and check the game log and see how we got to this point. First, we did indeed meet Posh now, as we did take him out. It looks like everyone had a good game. Obviously, in this, if you win, you're going to have a good game. Yeah, we came back and crushed Paladin even harder, but Falsoy did die 4 times. It seems, I'm guessing because of this, well, in this game his KDA against Imperial Mace's KDA was great. I wonder if he just had 2 bad games, especially this one against Quantum. Yeah, 0-6, yeah. That's what I was thinking, that something like that had happened. Yeah, Quantum is the only team to have beaten us. Excuse me. Beaten us so far. And something interesting I actually see, they're starting Clockwinder, which is weird, because Mehmet is on the roster. Huh. Not entirely sure why that's going on, but hey, they beat us. In the matchup with Crimson Moon, we crushed bot lane and the jungle. So, yeah, it looks like SIG is once again on a similar path. to get a top 2 spot. But we still need to take down Quantum. Obviously, they haven't beaten us. We haven't faced Primal yet. They're 4-0. But yeah, I think also the goal for us this season necessarily shouldn't really be top 2. It should be the number 1 seed. Hey, we also face Primal right now. It should be the number 1 seed. We need to get to that, because I feel like if we have that momentum heading into playoffs, we should be able to win the championship. But I'm actually going to sim a game real quick, because I want to see how, or what we do against Primal. We lost, unfortunate. As, yeah, Tarun did not have a good game on Ivern. Our former mid laner, Curry Cat, 9-0-11 on Ziggs. They also, Primal made a couple of good moves, signing former Crimson Moon jungler Volt and rookie Oxide. So yeah, Primal is really good this season, evident. Let's sim a little bit further and see how the team does. So SIG sits 7-5 after their good start to the season. It has not been exactly super fun. We're still really close with the rest of the league. Left off that Primal game, we then lost 2 more in a row. One to Jade Crown with Louisville, killing us on Callista for absolute certain. Aether Wolves as well getting the better of us, although it was a much closer game, I should say. We did break the losing streak and start a win streak against the 207 Shock, taking down Marvel and Safer. We also got our rematch against Quantum, and we did take down Clockwinder this time. We also then beat the Imperium Aces before losing to Paladin. And I've come to the decision that because we're 7-5, we're not in a terrible spot. I'm gonna go ahead and sub in Arkin just to see what he can do. This does not guarantee his contract. I'm gonna sim like half of the games left in the season, which is 10. So I'm gonna sim 5 games and see how Arkin does. More likely than not, it's gonna be Falsoy's spot in the playoffs if we get there, of course. These next 5 games I think are very critical to do that. But yeah, I just feel Falsoy's had a little bit too many deaths. Not there. I mean, like, obviously, 1-7 against Primal, but that wasn't really, there. He was 0-3 on Blitzcrank. Then he went, 1-3-12 on Lux, wasn't terrible. In the wins, obviously you're going to look good. But I just think the KDA being so far separate from the team, because he has what, 3.8? The next lowest is 4.6 from Tarun. That should be there. Usually the KDAs are all very similar. So, like, regardless of how your team's performing, if they're good, they're all good. If they're bad, they're all bad. But the fact that his is like slightly above average and everyone else is doing pretty darn good, I think I need to make a change. So let's go ahead and see how these changes go. We're going to sim the next 5 games, which is Aether Wolves, Primal, Crimson Moon, Silver Dragons, and Jade Crown. So Arkin's debut, or at least his first 5 games, so far success. 11-6 now. SI is your number 2 team in the nation, team in the league. I don't think anyone's going to catch Primal, so I think we gotta give up for the first place at this point. If we check the last 5 games, obviously 4-1 in his debut against Aether Wolves, 0-2-12 on Braum with a Kaisa 80 carry. Not much happened through the bot lane as we took down the Aether Wolves. Then against Primal, we lost. Apparently 3 teams have beaten Primal. Arkin did not do really good on Shrunzel. But the rest of the team wasn't looking super hot either, and Primal is like the best in the league right now. Against Crimson Moon, once again, hardly any kills in the bot lane, but Arkin, really good score. And then against Silver Dragons, finally, looks like he caught an actual good lane with Relevus Q, and which is what I was hoping for, that a Relevus Q would benefit from Arkin being in there, not just the entire team. And against Jade Crown, Arkin did pretty good. So he has a 30, or that's minutes. He has a 5.8. See, that's where I more expected expected Falsoy's KDA to be. Tarun has the worst at 4.4, which is a little concerning, but he's the best player on the team. I'm not going to bench him. Certainly not for Pokeet, anyway. I think... Let me turn my phone on real quick. I think we're going to go ahead and sim out the rest of the season and see how we finish, and then we'll make a decision on who is starting in the playoffs. If we make it, of course. So, SI Gaming ended up finishing the season only 12 and 10. In the last 5 games, as you see, 1 and 4. And it was not very good. In the last 5, we lost 4 in a row, obviously. We won against a 207 shot in a game that was not really close at all. But after that, we somehow dropped this one to Silver Dragon. It was a good game. You know, Arkin did really good at 0-2 and 10, but yeah, just couldn't, you know, overcome the Silver Dragon. And then these last 3 games were just abysmal. Against Poshnow and Excalibur, Blue Penguin, Flux, Tarun didn't really show up. The bot lane was okay, I guess, but I mean, they're 0 and 5 and 2 anyway, but yeah, it's like no one really did good in that game. They got 1 tower. Against Crystal, Arkin had his worst game of the season at 1-7-2 on Bard. Just the bot lane was the complete big issue. We lost that game also with Jace that's not ahead isn't going to help. And then we faced Crystal once again to end out the season, and Arkin once again did not have a good game of neither did Tarun or Flux. And that leads us to the playoffs. We are the 5th seed, not the 1 or 2 seed, unfortunately. And it leaves our future in question, especially at support. Now, both Arkin and Falsoy, very similar KDAs. Yeah, Falsoy played 2 more games, but he has a higher KDA. In the end, I think the tie-breaking decision is going to come down to 2 things. It comes down to performance and gold. In terms of recent performance and just overall performance, Arkin had his ups and he certainly had his downs, especially lately. Falsoy just wasn't getting it done from a KDA perspective, but we were still winning. I think, just for now, for this playoff, we're going to go with Falsoy. We are going to release Arkin after this season. But make no mistake, he can play. I just feel, with the gold, you know, being so much higher for Falsoy, I just feel like that gives him a slight advantage. And also the fact he had a higher KDA. So, we will face off, conveniently, against Excalibur. With Lindolfo, Jadane, MLO, Husian, and Poshnow. We get to face our former support 5 times? Well, at least 5 times in one season. In the games against Excalibur this season, we faced him in the very first game of the season, with Falsoy's debut. And we pretty much crushed them. Poshnow did not really do something. I guess the best was their jungle Twitch from Jadane. But the last time we met them was a couple weeks ago, in a game where we only got 1 tower, and Malo crushed us on Azir, and obviously we did not do good at all. But that was with Arkin. So we have beat them with Falsoy, we have not beat them with Arkin, and Falsoy is going to be starting the entire series. So let's see if we can take down Excalibur. We do indeed win game 1. As, yeah, just complete domination there. Welcome back, Falsoy, to the starting roster. As, yeah, complete domination in that first game. Game 2 is a loss. The first time Falsoy has lost against Excalibur. 2-8-4. So he did not do good, unfortunately, in that game. So 2 very crushing victories for opposite sides. In game 3, we do manage to get the win, as Poshnow does not do good on Soraka, but Yeah, Irrelevance Q. Oh my god, Falsoy 0020, the perfect support score. So you're now 2-1 up on Excalibur. Imperium and Crystal are still playing, so can't. Wrong button. So still can't see that. Game 4 goes to SIG, as we do manage to take down Posh now and Excalibur off of a, once again, odd performance by the bot lane, but good performance by everyone else. I feel like we've had a couple games this season where Irrelevance Q is literally just been a second support on AD carry. But yeah, we managed to take down Excalibur. We'll face Primal Gaming, which is going to be tough. On the other side, Imperium Aces advance. So, we get the #1 seed, 17-5, Primal Gaming. Rookie Oxide in the top lane, Volt in the jungle, Currycat, our former backup mid, Skydo at AD carry, and Mojo at support. In the regular season, I imagine we're 0-2 against Primal. The first meeting was, I guess, I want to say slightly even game, but it was Falsoy's worst game of the season. 176 on Senna. Did not do good. We also had Ivern. We were just full carry on Irrelevance Q that game, literally, and it did not work. The next loss was actually even worse, as it would be, with Arkin not having a good game either. Irrelevance Q, that's actually an acceptable KDA on Senna AD carry. But yeah, Tarun didn't do good on Nocturne, and that's not good. So Currycat seems to have our number. Judas and James obviously played 5 games for SIG and then sat on the bench for 3 years. And he joined Primal. Didn't do good last year, but this season he's on the best team in the league, as it would pertain. So, let's go ahead and sim through this series. We managed to take down Primal Gaming in the first game, so there we go. A carry by Irrelevance Q. Plux did great on Sims. Haven't mentioned his name nearly as much as I did last year. But yeah, Plux carried this game for sure. Currycat did have a good game of El'Kaz. But we do take game 1 against Primal. Game 2, however, is a loss, I should say. Primal gets back with a nearly flawless victory. Only 1 death onto Volt this time. Game 3 is a win. We're 1 game away from knocking out the #1 seed. As yeah, everyone was clicking in that game. Only Oxide got ahead on Dr. Mundo. So we're 1 game away from taking down Primal Gaming and going to our 3rd final in 4 years. Can we do it? Not in game 4. Primal takes that pretty hard. Currycat Zillion preventing that victory, as well as Skydo Senna. So we're going to come down to a game 5. Winner meets Paladin Esports in the finals. Can we take down Primal Gaming? We cannot. So we'll lose. We'll go to the 3rd place match though. As we do lose, Oxide's Lowy, Currycat Swain, Falsoy 0-5-4 on Misfortune cost us the game. The support's costing us the season, it seems. As just a little bit unfortunate end to that attempted run. But we'll face the Imperium Aces with XSR, Polio, Lone Hero, Bloby, and Zania. But if we're looking at the finals matchup, I know Paladin's won a couple titles. I think Primal's been like 3rd place a couple times. If I find that. Oh, sheet. I know, yeah, Paladin won it a couple years ago, back when we were in the finals, and I know Primal's been third place, but I don't think they've ever won. I don't think. I'm going through it right now. So give me a moment. It does not look like they've... So, yeah. Paladin looking for another title. Primal looking for its first. Obviously, Primal, Oxide, Bolt, Currycat, Skydo, and Mojo. Versus Paladin with Red Koi, Skelter, Scan, Juso, and Anti-Fang. I'll only be focusing on the finals, but hey, if we win the two-place match would be nice. Primal wins game 1. Paladin wins game 2. Primal wins game 3. Primal Gaming are your champions, as SI Gaming also took third place. And there you are. Oxide wins Finals MVP. Skydo from Primal Gaming wins MVP. As we see all the retirements on the right. Nashimu and Voidmane retire. They both get into the Hall of Fame. Currycat is gone. Clockwinder also retires. Psycho from Silver Dragons. A lot of rookies that didn't play. Ophiz is gone. Yeah. So, just to recap, your all-league team. First team, Skydo, Volt, Joker Jack, Currycat, and Polio. Second team, Oxide, Juso, XSR, Irrelevous Q, and Mojo. Third team, Antifang, Lobi, Rasat, Dark Art, and Blue Penguin. Go to your league leaders. Here are your league leaders, with Blue Penguin leading the league in kills, Mojo leading in assists, Skydo leading in CS, and obviously Skydo won MVP. Your Rookie of the Year, let me go find him real quick. Your Rookie of the Year is Finals MVP, Todd Oxide Rice. So here is how the league ended out. Your defending champions, Crimson Moon, did not even make the playoffs at 7-15, obviously. Primal went 17-5, won their playoff, and SIG, a 5th place finish. Unfortunate, with 2 supports too. I guess in hindsight, maybe it wasn't the right move to sub out Arkin, or sub out Falsoy for Arkin, but the thought process was Falsoy is going to be here for a little bit, and he's already pretty good. But Arkin is very similar, and he hasn't gotten a chance to play yet, so I was thinking, hey, maybe we have a hidden gem, and we just don't know it yet, because ratings don't decide everything in this game. But a little bit surprised by the fact that Blue Penguin and Rello's Q did not retire. And that is definitely something I was like looking at for this off season. But with Blue Penguin having such a good year, I don't think we should let go of him. There is the question for Irrelevous Q, but considering he is like pretty much set to break the record for most games played in SI Gaming history, I'm not sure I want to move on from him, but that means we're going to be running with the same roster as we did this year, and I'm not sure I want to do that either. If we do look at the prospects, here are yours, obviously one's on the left in 2030. Ferric, Sauce, Tigandra, Sharky, and Kimli are your top prospects, excuse me. Once again, 42 have been made. So let's see what free agency has for us right here. Here are our free agents for the season. Irrelevous Q, Blue Penguin, Bandit, Pookie, and Woko. Because I am also going to... I can't release Arkin. But I guess I'll show a little bit of editing here. You know, into Arkin, and let's make him a free agent. There you go. Now we have 4 players on the roster, and need to sign one. But anyway, as far as free agents go, we're obviously going to re-sign Blue Penguin to... another contract. Seeing as we already have Loxylox on the team, I'm half tempted to let Irrelevous Q go. There is somebody like Fable out there, obviously a top prospect we can sign. It would just be tough moving on from Irrelevous Q, right? But I think we're going to go ahead and do it. So, Irrelevous Q, Bandit, Pokeet, and Woko all hit free agency. And let's see what it reveals. Here are your free agency list. Fable is out there as the number 2 free agent. Badsa, the best top laner in the league, has also hit free agency. Looks like Relevus Q, Beyonder. Arkin is obviously out there. On Scene and Crusader. Our top rookie in the class was obviously Ferric, Armin Gunn Jr. So yeah, we have a full roster here. Obviously, we're going to be looking for a different AD carry. And you know what? Why don't we go ahead and sign the top prospect in the last class to replace Relevus Q, Ferric, to a 3-year contract. Because, you know, 3-year contract. In the mid lane, if we're going to look for a backup, let's go ahead and sign a second-year player. Sign Dontarius Kerbulan Washington. For 2 seasons, he'll be the backup. In the jungle, I'm going to keep going down this list here. We're going to signing Kidu, the 2-year contract. And then we need a support and top laner still. All the way down here for support is Moigo. Played on Paladin. I guess it wouldn't be terrible to sign him to a 2-year deal. We signed Moigo. Now we need a top laner. We'll sign Aldonis Sam Crow to be to a 3-year contract. So that's our roster. Full youth, no experience needed on this team. We completely rebuild Academy around Loxylox with Kerbulan and Kidu, Crow, and Moigo. And the addition to our starting roster, at least right now, is going to be Armin Ferric Gunn Jr., the best prospect in that last class. But the free agency pool is still wide open. Badsa, Fable still out there. Relevus Q obviously is hit free agency. So let's see where everyone ends up. So here is the result of free agency. Went through and edited a couple teams because they had some players that it wouldn't really make sense for them to stay, whether it be overall or just situations. So your top free agent is Carrick. Your best rookie on the free agency period is Kelvin Mayer Lienhard. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the teams in the league. First off, just look at your defending champs real quick. Beyonder did end up signing with Primal Gaming. As long as they have Oxide, Bolt, and Skydo, I think this team is going to be a little bit hard to beat. But if you look at other teams, we do see something that I was hoping would happen. Crimson Moon signed Irrelevus Q and Arkin. So the champs from 2 years ago get a bot lane that is slightly improved, I guess, from last season. But they played, some games together. They did really good in some of them and really bad in others. So we'll see how they do with Leon, Inachan, and Jay. Silver Dragons, I think, had one of the biggest splashes of the offseason, completely replacing their starting roster from last year besides Mercer by signing a former backup Bandit, former Crystal mid laner Scene. I forget where Fable played. He played for Aether Wolves, former Aether Wolves AD carry Fable, and where Dave played, former Crimson Moon support Dave. Badsa, the top free agent, ended up going to the 207 Shock, joining Purin, Marble, Demon, and Destro. And there is one person that I got to shout out. He's not the best, he's not the most impactful signing, but JR Platinum Coda has been sitting on Quantum since 2019, since the restart of this series, which was in Season 6, I think? Season 5? Well, we're kind of down a season, so it was like the 6th season, but I have it down here as Season 5. He's been sitting on them since Season 5. 9 seasons. He's been on Quantum. I don't know why I can't do it on my phone. Yeah, he's been there for basically a decade. He was on there for a decade. And he never got to play. Now he leaves Quantum and joins Crystal. He'll get his chance to start alongside Joker Jack, Kepler, Dark Art, and Rasat. And also, I just want to point out, Kepler, J. Sashi, is the brother of... I know, stop telling my phone's low. Anyway, he's the brother of... Not... Who was I looking at? I forgot who I was looking at. Oh my gosh. The guy... Mercer. There he is. He's the brother of Maven. Mercer Sashi. So, there you go. But if we're looking at SI Gaming, Barrick is going to be a superstar. Holy shit. Alright, didn't see that coming. But yeah, anyway, looks like Tarun got better. Flux slightly worse. Same with Blue Penguin. Falsoy is now an 83 overall, so that's good. But yeah, Barrick, #1 recruit in that last class. Really good, as it would seem. Imagine SI Gaming is pretty set up for this next season. Thank you all for watching. My name is Alvin Great. See you all next time.